ever tried to talk to someone about something that hurt you, only to have them immediately start defending themselves? Suddenly, the conversation isn't about your feelings anymore. It's about the explanation, their justification, their reasons. And before you know it, both people are frustrated, disconnected, and feeling unheard. But what if I told you that defensiveness is rarely a sign of strength? In fact, it's usually a sign of pain. Hi, I'm Angie D. Lee, relationship therapist and intimacy coach. And today we're going to talk about what defensiveness really means and why understanding it can completely change the way you approach conflict in your relationships. Now, when most people think of defensiveness, they think of someone being difficult, someone refusing accountability, someone unwilling to listen. And sometimes that's true. But many times what's happening underneath the surface is something much more vulnerable, because defensiveness is often protection. It's what happens when a person feels emotionally threatened. Let's say a wife tells her husband, "I feel like you haven't been present lately." What she may be trying to communicate is, "I miss you. I need more connection. I want to feel important to you." But what he hears might be, "You're failing. You're not good enough. You're a bad husband." And because that's painful to hear, he immediately responds with, "That's not true. I've been working all week. Do you know how much I do around here?" Now, from her perspective, he's not listening. But from his perspective, he's trying to protect himself from feeling inadequate. The same thing happens in reverse. A husband tells his wife, "I feel like we're roommates." What he's trying to communicate is, "I miss our closeness. I want to feel desired. I want to feel connected to you." But she hears, "You're failing as a wife. You're not doing enough. You're disappointing me." And suddenly she becomes defensive. Not because she doesn't care, because the message landed in a painful place. This is why I often tell couples, defensiveness is usually the symptom. Pain is the source. And most people don't become defensive because they're strong. They become defensive because they're hurt. And because underneath the argument is often fear. Fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of being misunderstood, and fear of not being enough. And when those fears get activated, people stop listening. They start protecting. Now here's the challenge. The more defensive someone becomes, the more likely their partner is to become defensive too. It's like emotional ping pong. One person protects, the other reacts. The first person protects even harder, and before long, nobody is talking about the original issue anymore. They're just fighting to prove they're not the problem. And this is one of the reasons I created my hurting ear versus healed ear framework, because what we hear isn't always what was said. When we're listening through a hurting ear, neutral comments can feel like criticism, and requests can feel like attacks. Feedback can even feel like rejection. And when that happens, defensiveness becomes automatic. But when we're listening through a healed ear, we're able to pause and ask, what is this person actually trying to tell me? Instead of reacting to the words, we become curious about the need underneath them. That shift changes everything. So what do you do if you notice yourself becoming defensive? Well, first, slow down. Most defensiveness happens so quickly that we don't even realize it's happening. Notice the urge to explain, the urge to justify, the urge to prove your innocence. And ask yourself, what emotion am I trying to protect right now? Am I feeling criticized, rejected, misunderstood, inadequate, Ashamed? Second, remember that accountability and worth are not the same thing. Someone pointing out a problem doesn't automatically mean you're a bad person. And you can make a mistake and still be lovable. You can have room to grow and still be enough. And finally, get curious before you get defensive. Try asking, can you tell me more about that? When did you start feeling this way? What are you needing from me right now? Because curiosity creates connection. Defensiveness creates distance. The goal isn't to become a person who never feels defensive. We're human. We all do. The goal is to recognize that defensiveness is often a signal that something painful has been touched inside of us. And when we learn to understand that pain, instead of immediately protecting it, we create space for deeper conversations, greater intimacy, and healthier relationships. Because beneath most defensiveness isn't strength, it's hurt. And hurt is something that can be healed. Now, if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. When you become defensive, what are you usually protecting? And if you found this helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And I'll see you in the next video.